Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm, we're going to be playing Garrosh in our A through Z playthrough. We're playing with a group of friends to make sure that this game goes smoothly while we're playing the tank here, and let's just watch it unfold. It's a YouTube video, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. This will be the first one for the week, followed by everybody else in the alphabet from here on in. That looks like a Cassia just getting tossed to the side. Please. Oh, that's 30 armor because that character is moving quite fast. Turns out I also have a whole bunch of armor, but my poor monk man does not. Now, if you're not familiar with Garrosh, or you're just here for the build, honestly, because some people just need to grab and go, you know. Warbreaker is going to be your level 1, 4 will be Indomitable, 7 is going to be Into the Fray, Warlord's Challenge at 10, 13 is going to be Defensive Measure, 16 will be your Mortal Combo, and 20 will be Titanic Might. Now, when I started playing this particular match, I was coming off of a super strong high from the Wildheart guys. They were doing basically like an AMA about tanking with Justing and Lupus, and it was pretty fucking cool, a lot of the information they were laying down. So what you're going to see in this video is a lot of me not doing any soaking at all with Garrosh, and we're going to get some really rad, disgustingly strong ganks instead. So, all that being said, if you're not aware of what Garrosh's kit does, we've got our Q as Groundbreaker. It is going to hit in a cone, but the very edge of the cone is going to knock up and slow people by 40% for 2 seconds. Your W is called Bloodthirst. This is going to deal considerably more damage than your Q knock-up if you don't have the talent all figured out, but it's also going to heal you for a portion of your missing health. 10% of your missing health comes back to you in healing, increased by 100%, so double that amount when you click on Hero to get this amount. And then your E is going to be your Wrecking Ball. This is your pièce de résistance, the whole shebang with Garrosh. This is everything that you need to get picks and kill people. Gonna toss that Artanis right in the middle of his dash out because he thought he was gonna be fucking cheeky. No. Wrecking Ball does just that, though. If someone's standing next to you, you can hit that E button and launch them in any direction you like to. They are going to travel towards your cursor. They just have to be the closest thing standing to you. So, that being said, we're going to get the Uther kill, hopefully, right now. Please. Yes, he's dead. Nailed it. Knocking up the Artanis just to get ourselves another stack quest, and we can talk about the Garrosh trait this time. So his trait is Armor Up. And then every time Garrosh, well, yes, no, that's right. Every time Garrosh loses 2% of his max health, he's going to gain 1 armor. So that means we can get a total of 49 armor before we're dead. I guess for a split second you'd have 50 armor, but you'd be dead immediately after. So that's how it goes. Anyway, that being said, it makes Garrosh's health pool much larger. Well, effectively larger than it is that you're seeing, because we only got 2608 on the par right now, but you add in all that armor, it's going to be much higher, just into the stratosphere. He's crazy good at surviving, crazy good at creating picks and engages, and he is very, very good at spooking the other team into making very, very bad decisions. The only thing Garrosh is not good at is actually getting into a decent position to make the toss with his E. Turns out Garrosh pretty immobile. So if you're not on your mount in a bush or somewhere that the enemy team isn't expecting you, you're probably not going to get close enough to hit them with the E for the EQ, but you may have to do the Q for the QE, which is vastly inferior if we're being honest. But anyway, all that being said, your ultimate, your second form of, well, I guess technically your third form of major CC with Garrosh is called Warlord's Challenge. You can think of it like a mini mosh pit. It basically fires off a big shout around Garrosh, and in that moment, the any enemies hit by it are going to be forced to attack Garrosh, and they're not going to be able to use any abilities. They just run towards him. He's taunted them all, and they get absolutely no retaliation other than, you know, whatever auto attacks that they're working with. So in some cases that's probably terrible, in other cases probably not so bad, but All that being said, it holds people in place for 2 seconds entirely. So, considering that you can land that on multiple targets, it's pretty fucking crazy good how strong the talent is. Just really, really, really good. But anyway, it leads into another combo for Garrosh, because normally you're doing your EQ to throw people backwards and then stun them on that throw, or you're doing your QE to slow people so that you can run up to them and toss them back to your team, or your final combo, well, mostly final combo, is that you can taunt people mid-flight while you're tossing them with a Wrecking Ball. So if you're playing against a Zeratul, or you're playing against a Tracer, as I rip that out of my ear, fantastic feeling, you are going to be able to taunt them immediately in the air, so that is when they get CC'd, and then when they land and they get knocked up and slowed, they're still going to be CC'd from your ultimate, so no immediate zipping away, you can just kill them. Hopefully your whole team will go in for the kill. Lots and lots of abilities coming out right before 10. Enemy team wants to fight. We're not there, but we're definitely ahead. Just can't give the enemy team the XP that they want until we can get those abilities up. Totally okay for us to let this go, even though some of us do have interrupts. Unfortunately, I overlapped my Shrine interrupt with my... Ooh! We just unstoppable Artanis's swap. But unfortunately, we are going to lose our Falstad because they did just walk past us while doing indiscriminate amounts of damage, and that hurt a whole lot. But Indomitable is a big talent for Garrosh. It's at level 4. It is an unstoppable button. Considering that Garrosh has 0 mobility whatsoever, needing that button is going to make it so that he can engage targets more effectively. If he's not going to get knocked off his mount right away, or he's not going to get slowed down by some form of crazy annoying CC, it's much more likely that he's going to get to his target, toss them backwards, and then slap them up with his team. 2-man taunt coming out, got the Wrecking Ball again, throwing him directly towards the Ragnaros, and just watching that Nazebo disappear slowly into the ether to link the flame. Now the whole map, honestly, when you're playing Garrosh, is going to be a little bit of a playground. The fact that I have to soak this wave right now is a little bit lame, but since my team is doing a camp, someone has to catch it, and I am much better at just sitting in the lane, soaking up little teeny balls, than punching down a mercenary camp. So the only reason I'd really want to be there is if the enemy team started to engage on it, but turns out they didn't. No interest whatsoever from the enemy team. Much more interested in killing our Ragnaros, who was all by himself top. So we can go up to the top side of the map now. It's 32-32. Enemy team thinking that they're going to get away with something here. Hopefully my right wing will be able to get to me in time with the global. Same thing with my Falstad. Looks like maybe they don't even need to. Getting that Uther kill on the bottom side of the map and the fort. I don't want to necessarily lose this for free, but at the same time, it's not that big a deal if we do. Oh my god, what are you people doing to my team on the left side of the map? There is the blink out for the Bright Wing. We're just going to toss Nazebo in, get some free stacks, get a 2-man taunt, and there is the Hinterland Blast to seal the fate of that poor man. We just keep walking forward. We don't have a whole lot of cooldown since our Wrecking Ball is so large, but we have it up in just a moment. Need to peel for our buddies. Falstad is dead from the Cassia, but at least Arthas isn't in the middle of everybody, causing some problems. I've got my heal with my W there, so I don't mind walking forward with no health. Arthas is a crab? Crab or a squirrel? Not sure. Getting ready to toss him, but turns out we're going to toss Uther instead. I thought my monk was going to be able to do that all by himself, but it turns out Uther went full tail, running back to his base. And, you know what? We got 1 kill. It looks like his ult, the 7-sided strike, was not up, so Uther gets to live. It's okay. Looks like this comp specifically is a very good for really engaging those picks with Garrosh. With our taunt, the big wombo that we have here makes the Hinterland Blast from Falstad really, really effective. in multiple CC situations, and then just false stats damage period, blasting Nazebo out of existence. But it also really helps in cases where we would just isolate a single target. So all Garrosh really has to worry about is flipping one person towards the monk, knocking them up, and then taunting them under there, and then they'll get hit with all the 7-sided strike, presumably away from their team enough that all the damage drops onto one person. So it's pretty fucking cool. Now your talents with Garrosh are pretty standard. As far as all the stuff that I go, the only thing really that requires any brain power is your 16. Everything else is pretty much the same every game, it feels like. So your level 1 is going to be your quest, Warbreaker. This is going to reduce the cooldown and let your Q do more damage. Mostly the cooldown reduction is what you need, because that's going to pair up with your 13. Your 13 is going to give you a huge shield for hitting people with the edge of your Groundbreaker, your Q, and that helps keep you alive much more often, so having that on a shorter cooldown means good things for you. Then your other talents we already talked about, Indomitable. Into the Fray is basically Garrosh giving a buddy Unstoppable and armor. It also slows people where it lands, but I don't necessarily love that. And Garrosh can throw friendly minions, so it's definitely good for saving people, but if people are standing on top of each other, or they are standing on top of minions, mercenaries, anything else I can pick up, it might be trouble. Might be trouble. Oh, I can't believe he's going to get away. There is the Hinterland. I was throwing the monk in. I'm going to get the Brightwing heal as well as we toss those bad boys into the Sulfurous Smash with a taunt on top of that, and everyone is eviscerated. That was so many spiky, explodey bits on 3 people. There was no way they were leaving. And honestly, I mean, I would alt F4 right now, because that was disgusting. Someone call a police officer. I deserve a ticket with the rest of my team for disturbing the peace. Your 16 is the other cool thing about Garrosh, because it pairs really well with your 20. If you're taking Mortal Combo, that means that when you hit your EQ combo in any direction, regardless of order, you're going to reduce the cooldown of your E by 10 seconds, which drops it to 4 seconds. Now, if you hit level 20 and you take Titanic Might, you can throw 2 people. So if you hit 2 people with that combo, you have completely reset the cooldown of your E, which means that you can throw a whole bunch of people. That's a 3-man taunt again. The Sulfurous Smash landing on the front line. I might be in a little bit of trouble here. My buttons are still coming back, so we need to land a Q for some shields. Looks like the enemy team has decided I'm not worth it, and they are just going to die to my Falstad instead, because we did a lot of damage soaking in that team fight. Can we throw Birdie up? Oof, nice. Just absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that someone respects all the work that I'm putting into this while watching my teammates make the highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what those deaths are looking like. The Garrosh has 0 deaths. So does the Brightwing. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff coming out of the tank and the healer this game. I just love it. This is another lesson for anybody watching, though. Definitely play with people who know what they are doing, and that means soaking waves, taking camps at the correct time, being in the right lanes, looking at the map. I mean, it's just so good. And I know you'll get called a filthy stacker by the people who you are stacking against, but my god, like, being in a team is ridiculously, insanely busted levels of good. It's really good, I promise. Just do it. Find some friends. Make some friends if you need to. But if you want to play HOTS, play it with other people. It's really just that simple. Can we kill the Nazebo? He's ice blocked himself. I need to get right in there for the taunt. The Hinterland Blast again dropping on them. Full reset. Deleted 2 people. Holy shit. Have you ever been more impressed with anything in your life? I mean, God. Don't let me forget, I'm in the process of making, I guess, another highlight reel, a play video, good plays. We'll stick that on there for sure. But yeah, pretty fucking crazy how good this is all working. Arthas is dead again. He didn't have enough ghouls to chew on to get through that ridiculous amount of just lockdown and DPS that we have. Uther's the only one alive. Basically, we're just looking at buildings now to close out the game and force the enemy team into a checkmate. But we're going to kill the mid one. We're going to have someone go up and start the top one, pushing the wave up. Going to get those sappers at the top as well. So once that bell tower is dead and the mid bell tower are dead, enemy team will probably take back the bottom. And then we'll have to just wait and see what they want to do. Because if we stall them out on the altar, then our pumpkins up top are going to go through. And if they go to deal with the pumpkins, we get an advantage fight over the altar. So either way, everything going on in this game right now is absolutely insurmountable for the enemy team. Unless some sort of god tier... Oh, little bit of a miss on that Sulfurous Smash, but that's okay. Still getting the kill, says Whack-Nawos. And we're going to move into the top side for the camp. Enemy team, there you go. I mean, they're going to get back the bottom bell tower. They took 2 shots. They've got 1 left. They're like, okay, well, now we didn't send anybody to stop that camp, so we're taking a 4 versus 5 on the altar. I guess they're thinking that maybe they can kill us all instantaneously. But to be honest with you, Artanis didn't take the laser beam for a wombo with the the throw. Ooh, enemy team showing signs of life and then immediately thrown about, manhandled. Game ends too fast because the sappers are just too speedy and we're not allowed to make any more cool plays. But I mean, that D-Storm did almost get him places. MVP. Not sure if I believe that, but, you know, he did have a lot of stats. He did have a lot of bird-fueled stats. Let's see. Well, turns out our Ragnaros actually had all the stats, but I guess that hero damage and kills are the only one that matters. So... the game loves a false dad, to be sure. Turns out I still had plenty of kills, though. Infinite KDA, right here. Which is weird because you usually just die all over the place on tanks, but, you know, whatever. If you need the build again, it's going to be Warbreaker, Indomitable, Into the Fray, Warlord's Challenge, Defensive Measures, Mortal Combo, and Titanic Might. So good. That's it for Garrosh, though. We'll be back tomorrow to continue down the alphabet as my eyeballs are just dried insanely out. I may have a nap as well. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys then. Peace.